Amma, where's my school tie?
There's a strange thing about mothers. We spend our whole lives calling them, but rarely asking who they really are. One day, their hands stop packing our school bags. Their voices stop shouting from the gate. Their room becomes quieter than we ever imagined. But until that day comes, we somehow think that Amma will always be there. Tonight, this isn't just a Mother's Day episode. This is for the mothers who sacrificed silently, the children who forgot to say thank you, the homes held together by one exhausted woman, and the memories we never realized becoming memories. Because somewhere tonight, a mother is waiting for her child to come home. Some mother is pretending she isn't worried. A mother skipped buying something for herself just so her child could have a little more. And maybe none of us noticed. RMU Podcast presents
Mother's Day Special. Things we never told Amma.
Eyeball everyone. My name is Menuka.
And I am Chathuka.
And you're listening to the RMU Podcast by the Rajans Media Unit.
Mother's Day Special episode, Aya.
Oh Chathuka Mali. Today feels different, right?
Very different, Aya. We usually joke around, talk random stuff. But today, this one hits personally.
Exactly. Because every student listening right now, whether you're in a hostel, tuition class, bus, boarding place, or pretending to study while listening, there's one person behind your whole story. Amma.
Aya, sometimes I think we only understand our mothers properly when we grow older. As kids, we genuinely thought the fridge magically refilled itself and the clothes somehow cleaned themselves overnight.
Facts, man.
But later, you realize there was one exhausted woman behind all of it.
And the crazy thing is, mothers never ask for credit. They literally survive on one cup of tea and pure stress.
Also, Aya, Sri Lankan mothers specifically are just built different.
Exactly.
They can detect problems through warmth. You cough once, and from another room she comes out. "Da, are you sick?"
And somehow they know when you failed an exam before you even got the paper. But jokes aside, today isn't just about celebrating mothers, it's about noticing them. Because honestly, most mothers disappear into responsibility. People know them as someone's amma, someone's wife, someone's teacher, someone's helper. But before all of that, they were people with dreams as well. Chathuka, recently I saw something on BBC Insta, and honestly, I couldn't just scroll past it. There was this mother and daughter separated because of war for almost 2 years. And when they finally reunited, the daughter just collapsed into her mother's arms. No words, just emotions.
That's sad, Aya.
And that moment made me think distance doesn't weaken a mother's love, time doesn't weaken it. Nothing really does.
Aya, even I saw this movie in 2024 called The Mother. This mother in America worked as a school janitor near her daughter for 12 years. Not because she needed fame, not because she needed money, and not because anyone forced her. She did it just to stay close to her child. Imagine that, Aya, cleaning floors every day just to breathe the same air as your daughter.
That line itself hurts because that's literally motherhood. Silent sacrifices, no announcements, no look what I did, just pure love.
Also, I remember another story from Japan. There was this mother terrified of flying, like genuine panic level fear. But when her daughter moved away, she sat through a 14-hour flight alone, shaking, crying, scared, all just to see her child.
That's insane dedication. Because mothers will do anything they never imagined possible for their children. And not only Western countries, Mali. I remember seeing the image from Gaza. A mother carrying sleeping children through destruction, walking through smoke and chaos just to keep them alive. That image stayed in my head because when the world becomes dangerous, a mother becomes a human shield.
Aya, there's one thing I noticed. Whether it's Sri Lanka, Japan, Gaza, India, or Africa, Amma, mother, Ummi, or mom, whatever you want to call her, she is still the same person. Different language, but the exact same love.
Exactly. And maybe that's why Mother's Day feels universal. Because every single person remembers at least one moment where their mother protected them without us even realizing it.
Aya, remember school trips?
Oh, yes.
Every mother packed enough food to feed an entire classroom.
And somehow, your lunchbox became public property.
Exactly. And the notes? Puti, don't forget your medicine. Drink water. Call me when you arrive. Meanwhile, we'd at cool in front of friends, like Hari Hari Amma. But secretly, that care meant everything.
Also, Mant, Sri Lankan mothers and tuition culture. Those women deserve an award. Waiting outside tuition classes for hours, holding bags, carrying umbrellas, falling asleep on plastic chairs while we study.
And then asking the same question every single time. How was the paper, son?
And one more thing, no matter how poor or stressed the family is, somehow mothers still try to make birthdays feel special. Even if it's just one small cake, even if they're struggling financially, they still try.
That's true, Aya. Sometimes we only realize later how much they hid from us. Stress, debt, fear. They protected our childhood while silently sacrificing theirs.
Chathuka, I think the saddest thing about growing up is realizing how many things our mothers did quietly. Things that we never noticed when we were small.
True, Aya. We thought life was functioning automatically. Food appeared, uniforms got cleaned, books got covered, lunch appeared every morning.
Exactly. And we never stopped for a moment to ask who woke up first. Because in most households, it was Amma. Before sunrise, before everybody else.
Sri Lankan mothers honestly have superpowers. They sleep at 12, wake up at 4:30, cook breakfast, pack lunch, wake children up, and still ask, "Did you eat enough?"
And most mothers eat last too. Everybody else finishes eating first, and only then they sit down.
Aya, when mothers say, "I'm not hungry," sometimes they actually were. They were wanting to have more for us while keeping the low amount for themselves.
That line itself explains motherhood. Giving quietly, again and again, without expecting anything back.
Aya, I think hostel students understand this feeling differently.
Yes, Mali. At first, hostel life feels exciting. Freedom, friends, late night talks. But eventually, reality hits.
Especially at night, Aya, when the room suddenly becomes quiet and you realize nobody is asking whether you ate, nobody is reminding you to sleep, nobody is waiting for you.
And suddenly, even those annoying phone calls become comforting.
Sometimes, Amma calls just to ask, Puta, have you eaten? And we'd reply, Ane Amma, I'm busy. But later, you sit alone and replay that voice in your head.
Hostel students listening right now probably know this too. Sometimes the hardest days are just random ones. Not birthdays, not holidays, just ordinary nights where suddenly you miss home. You miss hearing plates in the kitchen. You miss your mother yelling from another room. You even miss the arguments.
Because deep down, home was never the building. It was the people, especially Amma.
Chathuka, one thing I realized after growing older, our mothers were also young a long time ago. They also had dreams, fears, insecurities. But somehow, they just paused their life mid-play just to build ours.
That realization hits hard, Aya. Because as children, we only see Amma, not the strong woman behind Amma.
Exactly. Maybe she loved traveling. Maybe she had talents that nobody ever saw again. Maybe she gave up opportunities nobody will ever know about.
And still, every morning, they woke us up for school like superheroes.
Sometimes I wonder, Mandi, when was the last time our mothers truly rested? Not physically, emotionally. Because mothers carry invisible pressure. They worry about money, health, the children's future, and most of the time, they carry it alone.
And society expects mothers to be perfect too. If they're strict, people complain. If they're emotional, people also complain. If they work too much, people judge them. And if they stay at home, people still judge. But somehow, they still continue.
Before recording this episode, we actually asked a few students one question. What's the one thing that you never told your mother?
And honestly, some of these replies are heartbreaking.
One person said that he regretted never telling his mother how he noticed that she skipped meals every day so that he could eat properly.
Another one said how he used to feel embarrassed when his mother called him so much, and now he's staying at a hostel, waiting for those calls to arrive again.
And this one actually hurts me a lot, Mali. One student said, "My mother apologized to me for an argument once. But looking back, I think I was the one in the wrong."
And I have another one. This person never realized that his mother was aging until he saw her struggling to even read a small label.
If you're listening right now, what's your answer? What's the one thing that you never told your mom? Can I say something honestly, Chathuka?
Always,
I think our generation struggles to express love properly, especially to parents. We post emotional captions online, but sometimes can't even say a simple thank you after getting dinner at home.
True, Aya. Sometimes we get irritated over tiny things. One extra phone call, one lecture, one question. But we forget those questions actually come from care and love.
And not every relationship with a mother is perfect either. Some listeners may have misunderstandings, distance, arguments, pain. And that's real too.
Exactly, Aya. This episode isn't saying every family is perfect, but maybe underneath all those misunderstandings, there's still love trying to survive.
Because some mothers show love through hugs, some through sacrifices, some through strictness, and some just staying by our side.
Aya, I think one of the saddest things is we never notice the last moments while they're happening. The last school drop-off, the last time our mother packed our lunch, the last time waiting near our school gate.
One day, your mother stops calling you Puta every morning. And life never would really go back to being the same. Chathuka, before we wind up, let's finally say the things we usually leave unsaid.
To every mother listening, Thank you for pretending to be strong even when you were tired. Thank you for carrying stress we never saw. Thank you for choosing us again and again when you had other priorities.
Thank you for the early mornings, for waking up at night, for silent prayers, and for each and every sacrifice that nobody noticed.
And we are sorry for the times we answered rudely, ignored calls, acted like your care was annoying to us.
Because one day the house becomes quiet, and suddenly we would give anything in the entire world just to hear, Puta, did you eat? One last time. If your mother is still with you, call her tonight. Not tomorrow, tonight.
And if you lost your mother, we hope this episode brings a small memory you can hold on to.
From all of us at the Rajans Media Unit, have a happy Mother's Day.
Stay safe, everyone. And this time, say it without embarrassment.
Good night, everyone.
Good night to you all.